guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today we have a resin video. Just trying to look for something white a minute, and I thought I would show you how to make these beautiful little mini Christmas lights. I think they are just beautiful, and they're just made out of UV resin and wire, which are lovely. So I've got some on a little bit of wire here, and then one on a longer piece. So these are to go into my journals. That's why I've made them sort of like mini and lovely. I think they are just the cutest. So if you saw my video last week or a couple of weeks ago, I made some UV resin beads. This is on the same sort of principle as that. I'm using the little, I don't know why I put my gloves on first, sorry. These little flathead pins on here, which you can find anywhere under jewellery findings, and they are the best thing I found to use that works. This I'm going to use to mix my colours in. I've got my Let's Resin lamp that I'm going to be using, and again I'm going to use it on the side so I can work here and actually harden it on this side. These are some that I did earlier. These are some lovely little shiny ones. I've done the coloured ones, and I just wanted to do some shiny, and they've come out okay, but I really do prefer the lovely little coloured ones. I think they are lovely. So I'm going to be using some UV resin. So all I'm going to do, I found that this is just a little silicone mould, and I found this to be the easiest thing. I'm going to pop some, I'm just going to do one colour. I've made some before, so I can show you how I actually put these together. So what I'm going to do, what should we do? Should we do some red? I think the red will probably be easier to see me make. So I'm going to pop about 3 little drops in there. Take a little cocktail stick and give that a little bit of a stir, just so that we can mix that together. So this is just the Let's Resin dye. This one is bright red. The thing I like about the dye is it's translucent. So you want something, because obviously these are like little lights, aren't they? Obviously they're not going to light up unless you put little lights in them, but they're sort of like translucent, and I think they would sort of like, you know, they look like they're lit up. Well, they do to me. So what I'm going to do, I've mixed that up. Let's give it another little mix, like that. And I'm going to take, oops, wrong pliers. Where's my pliers gone? I'm going to take one of the little pins, the little flathead pins, and the same, I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to dip that in there, like that, just so that we've got the end dipped in there, so we've got a little bit of red in there, and then I'm going to hold it in front of our light. So if you've got a light lamp like this Let's Resin one, this normally goes on the top, it's a double one, but I've just turned it onto the side, so that means that there's a block between my UV light and my UV resin. So we want to just pop that on there, and then just keep going across and dipping it in, like that. Now this one is a little bit different than doing the beads, because we want that drip. We want to elongate our little bit of resin, so you want to sort of hold it down. Do you know what I mean? So it drips, so it makes it a little bit bigger. I don't think my gloves are going to be any good behind that. We take this, I've got these little polystyrene blocks that just so I can stick them in. Can you see? Just want to make that, just hold it there, hold it under your into your resin, and just let it drip just a little bit. The more you dip it in, the longer it will get. So I'm not going to do lots. This one's got a bit of a funny shape, so do be careful having it in front of your lamp. This is going to drip. Oh, there we go. I could see that was going to drip. So do let it drip before you pop it inside in front of the lamp. So just do this a few times. Let that drip down, just the same as like we were doing the beads. And then what I did, I took a piece of styrofoam, and then I'm going to just lift that up. I'm going to pop that in there like that, but I'm going to just hold that over there like that. I'm going to take another one of these. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. Dip it into the resin and hold that like that. So that one's okay. That can just pop down on there. So I'll pop the video down for the beads as well, because I sort of like do more, show you a little bit better in that one. But these, it's just so simple. Just mix up your colour. Again, I've gone for sort of traditional colours, but however you're going to use them, you can use them in little dolls' houses and things like that. So but I'm just going to pop mine because I'm going to be making a Christmas journal with my lovely Christmas papers, digital papers, and I thought these would be lovely on the outside of my journal to embellish it. So I'm just going to pop that one on there like that. We should do another one. I'll do 3 of them. I'll just show you how I sort of like build them up. So let's just pop that in there. Hold that down. I'll do these ones as well because it takes a little while to build them up. You need to do, gosh, you could probably do about 6 or 8, and then I would leave them for a good 10 minutes at least under your lamp, just to make sure that's not going to, that they are going to harden like that. Let's twist that round. So I think this, you could make these into little berries. You could make them into all sorts, because look, they look like little holly berries as well, don't they? I found the little ones with the flat ends are pretty good because it gives something for your resin to sort of hang on to, if you know what I mean. So let's just twist that around. I'm going to pick this up, then I'm going to stick it in upside down like that and hold that underneath. I know you can't see very well. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one out, one that I did before, dip it in, and then hold that like that. Then I can just stick it in there like that, and then I can hold all of them under the lamp. So you're just sort of like working upside down. Do you know what I mean? So if you put them up the other way, so that means that they will keep sort of like elongating and making that nice long sort of like faux glass, which looks beautiful, doesn't it? So let's just pop this one in again. Let's dip that one in. It will just hold that like that. Then we can just stick that in and hold it, and then we can hold all of them together. So loving it. So that's how I did it. We'll keep building it up and building it up, and we'll do that. And I did all the red together, obviously, and then all the blue and all the yellow and all the green. So you're just sort of like doing one colour at a time. I do actually want to just build this up so you can actually see all the way through. You can just see it's getting longer. Let's pop that down like that around. You have to be careful because they do sort of go out of shape very, very easily. If you move it in a direction that it doesn't like, in front of the lamp, as you know, with UV resin, they harden pretty quick on the outside, but they're still sort of like soft in the middle. So there we go. I think that will do for a minute. Let's pop that. Is that going to do? Pop that in there. Actually, I'm going to just do these two a couple, because then this resin otherwise is going to go hard and I don't want to waste that. So just a little quick bit. This one, there's a bit of a funny shape, this one, but I like that because I think they look pretty sort of like vintagey as well. I'll give you a good close-up at the end of the videos, like I normally do. And then you can see what they are like. Let me just give this quick one, this last one, a quick dip in. Like that. So I'm going to drip, just take off that little bit. Move it about. So I know I've had lots and lots of lovely comments about the beads video, the UV resin beads. So I'm hoping that you've all given it a go. Please let me know if you have, and I would love to see them. So pop some pictures in the Facebook group. I would love to see them if you have. Right, if you're a bit wary that they're going to just drip, just hold, if you put it in something like styrofoam, and just hold that upside down just to make sure. But look at that. I think they would just make lovely little antennas for butterflies, or like I said, you could have like little red holly berries. If you make your own flowers, this is a great way to make the little stamen things to go inside. Okay, I'm going to pop those to the side. Now actually I'm going to do one of these. Should I do one of these? Yes. Let's do that. I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to pop that in there. I'm going to get some UV resin again. I'm going to take one of the biggest little circles because I need to dip this in. So this is a great sort of like use of this because it's like a little bowl. And I'm going to take, I've got some like little bugle beads, which are great. And I'm going to pop that. That's what I've used for the top of here. So you could probably see, can you, is that a bit better? There we go. You can see the little bead at the top, like that. Let's turn that on. So what am I doing? I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to pop a little bead on, so it doesn't really matter which one. Not the easiest to pick up with my gloves on. Pop that over so you can see there. It's got the little bead on there. I'm going to take my pliers. Now you want to dip all of it into the clear resin. So you want to dip that whole thing in so you're covering up your bead as well. Just let that drip off a couple of times so you don't have any drippy bits. And then again, we shall hold this in front of the lamp. So you could make all sorts of different colours of these. I think they're just so cute and so fun to make. You could make them into little earrings. You could make a little bracelet with them on as little charms. I think they are just the cutest. Right, I'm going to just dip that in again because we want to have, for these little ones, I wanted to have the outside so you could see it was clear and have the shiny sort of like in the middle. I wanted it to look like a light, but shiny light in the middle, but it didn't quite work. Not quite sure what. But I wonder if you could put some the glow in the dark glitter, or even the mica powders, if they had glow in the dark. Oh, I might give that a go. That would look really nice, wouldn't it? So I've done that. I'm going to just go under that one more time. So you want to, 2 or 3 layers of just the clear UV resin. Like that. Drip that off. Make sure we haven't got a drip on there. Just love them. I think they're so fun to make. Let's put this down. I think my little one's gone a little bit wibbly wobbly, but makes them look pretty sort of like unique. That's what we're going to call them. If they've got little wibbly wobbly bits in, they are very unique. aren't they? So let me just get the white. Can you see that? Hoping you can see that it's sort of like clear on the outside, and then you've got the glittery bits in the middle. So I'm going to just pop that in there with that one. Let's do a red one. Oopsie daisy. Oops. Get all caught. I was going for this bigger one because that's quite nice, that one. So we're going to get a little bead. Let's turn that on. Hold on to that. We shall just pick up one of these beads. Not that I can. Just slide that on. There we go. Slide that on the end. Like that. And then just dip it in your clear UV resin. Let it just drip off like that, and again we're just going to hold that in front of the lamp like so. Oh, I just think they're so pretty, so pretty. Yes, definitely going to get some. I'm going to try that. I might actually try that in a minute because I've got some glow in the dark mica powders. I'm sure I'm going to have a quick peek and see. Let's just pop these on here, leave these to dry, and then I'm going to go and have a little look, because how fab would that be? Oops, it's a bit too much. Let's just do this. Okay, let's just pop this down like that. Stick them in. So look, can you see? Don't they look lovely? So you can see that sort of like the glass at the end of that one. The glass, the resin, I mean. Oopsie daisy. Right, I'm going to just leave those there. 2 seconds to do that. While they're hardening, I am going to go and have a little look to see if I can find some glow-in-the-dark resin. Not resin, mica powders. Okay, so I have found a glow-in-the-dark Arteza glitter. So let's use this one, shall we? I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to add in a little bit of, just a little bit in there. A little bit of this glitter. Do you think this will work? Because how fun would that be? Let's just mix that in. Get some toothpicks here. Give this a little stir around. Like that. Oh, I hope this works. Let's take my pliers. Just dip that in. So we just need to build this up, don't we? Let's bring this over. Like that. Pop that in there. This would have probably been a really good one for Halloween if you made a Halloween journal and had some glow in the dark sort of like lights hanging off a journal or something. Or a little bracelet, some little earrings made with this would be great. Okay. Fabulous. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop that in there very awkwardly and hold. Oh, look at that, I just dropped it out. Take it out, pop that in, and then just hold that upside down for a second. I think these are pretty dry now, so I think they're pretty good. Just want to finish these ones off. I think I got a bit of a Bit of a dent in this one that I just dropped. Let's dip that again, I think. Oh look, can you see? Can you see that glowing? Okay. Oops. Have to turn the light off, won't I? To see if we can see these glowing. That's going to drip. That's got a bit of a drip on it, I think. That's okay, because that's what we want. We want them to look a little bit longer. Do you know what I mean? That's not quite the shape that I wanted, but we're getting there. One more dip in this one, just to make sure it's the little bit better shaped. Okay. And then I will dip the other one in some clear, as long as that's not set. Ooh, that's a nice, look at that one. That's a bit of a better one, isn't it? Okay, as long as you don't bend, let's pop you this way. I'm going to take you, oh no, I'm going to dip this one again. Let's dip you in there again, because you're not quite big enough. Not quite big enough. There we go. But I think the other one is perfect. Okay. Just going to take this, pop that into there. I'm going to take this one out. These will need a lot longer to harden. But I'm going to take a little bead, one of these little beads. Let's pop that through there like that. Hold onto it so we've got our bead. Let's turn our light on. I'm going to dip it into the clear. Oh, that's fine. Make sure I've got that bead on there. Just twiddle that around. There we go. Oops. Drip that off. And then we will hold it in the light. I think you can get different colour ones of the glow in the dark. Different like pinks and stuff. I don't know. I don't use glow in the dark, so I'm not sure. That's why this is still full up. I've had it for a long time. So I'm going to dip that again. Like that. Now if these work, I think I will probably be making a few more of these. Just get rid of that. Rid of that little drip. It's just to sort of seal it in, really. And you want the sort of like the bead to be enclosed into the resin, so it's sort of all part of the same sort of little faux light, isn't it? There we go. Right, I'm going to put this one up like that. We will just do one of those because I want to show you how to make the light. So let's just leave those to do their little thing. I have got some ready over this side, so I'm going to push that over to the side. I'm going to put that over there, so hopefully I will be able to keep using that. Let's move these bits out of the way. So here we go. I've got a couple here. I've got some here as well. Now on these, I don't know whether you can see, this one I used like a little seed bead on there, and this one I used the Bugle bead, which is the longer ones, which I prefer this one. I probably can't see. Can you see on my gloves? Can you see? Look, the Bugle bead makes it look a bit too fat, but these ones are perfect shape. And then I've got these little coloured ones here, which I just love. I think they've come out lovely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my gloves off for a second. We don't need those. Don't need those. I'm going to take, this is what they look like, you know, obviously when they're done. I've got my little, I got 1.5 loopy pliers, which gives you that loop in there at the end. But what I'm doing, because the little bead is glass here, don't push it too far. You want to go in, and as you, if you've used these loopy ones, as you go round, just bend this way, so this little bit doesn't touch the little glass bit, because it will crack, which I found out because I did it. And then just squeeze it like that. So again, this is the little one with the big bead on. I will keep using them. I'll use it anyway. I'm not going to throw it away. So that one can just pull down like that, and then we've got that little loop in the end. But I just think they are fabulous. I love them. I can have so many uses for them, I think. So just bend that down, so as you pull it round, pull this bit so it doesn't touch, doesn't clamp on your little bead. There we go, perfect. So that's those ones. Let me turn that light back on again. I'm going to show you, because I've got enough beads here to make a little row like this. So let's just take these out. So do we have enough? We'll have 2 of each. Look, I'll make one with 6. So let's put that one in, and then we need another green. 8 if I can count. There we go. I'm taking some wire. Now again, this is how I'm going to use it, but you can put them on little jump rings and things like that to do yours. I will probably put some on jump rings and make some little sort of like dingly danglies for my Christmas journal. So I'm going to take a little piece of this. I'm going to just thread one on to the end. Make sure your little loops are closed properly. I'm going to pop that on there. I do it like this. Pop that on there, and then I'm going to just twist it around like that, just so you've got like a little twist in there. Now again, you can make twists in this first and clip these on, so it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. So I'm just going to pop another little green one on like that, twist it up, hold on to this. I'm just going to twist that around like that. It's very sort of a nice little rusticy look, isn't it? Look at that. Really very simple. Pop on another little one like that. Bend that up. This is just florist wire. This is the wire that I normally use for everything, and I really don't know what gauge it is, but use something that's sort of like nice and soft so you can twist it, but not too, don't twist it too hard, because it will break. It will sort of snap off. Bend that in half, and then we'll just, where's the end? Twist that around like that. Then we have our little row of little Christmas lights like that. Oh, just think they are so cute. Let's pop this one on again, close that up, give it a little twist. Oops, go on in your little loopy, there we go. Twist that round, and then we're done. And then they can all be manipulated into the right positions. But look at that, don't they just look the cutest? Right, what colour do we need? We need the yellow on this end, don't we? Pop that on. Twist that up. So guys, what would you use these for if you were going to make some? Would you use them in your journals? Actually, I've got a nice little project that I want to do for a Shabby Saturday. Maybe not this one coming, but I've got a Shabby Saturday video coming up. And I've got a lovely little old bird cage. And I think something like this would look really pretty on there, wouldn't they? Not necessarily in fairy-like, in Christmassy colours, but in sort of pinks and stuff. Okay, look at that. And what should we have? We have the blue one up this end. Like that. Twist that around. Oopsie daisy. Where's it gone? There we are. Make sure they are all facing the right way. And then you can pop like a little loop at the end, depending on how you want to. I'm going to just twist it up. I want them to look sort of rusticy and old and vintagey, because my Christmas journal is going to be pretty vintage. So I think these are just absolutely perfect. I think you can see them better on the white, can't you? Just gorgeous. I love them. Right guys, let's have a look, see if we can do something with this little glow in the dark. Still feels a little bit tacky on there. That's what I mean. So you've got to be careful. But I would like to see what it looks like. I'm going to try. I'll make some more, and at the end of the video, I'll see if I can, you know, take a picture of it, sort of like glow in the dark. I don't think you'll be able to see like that. Let's pop this in here. That, twist that up, and there we go, little one. So yes, it needs to be under there for a little bit longer, and see if I can make it glow. I can see it glowing, but I don't think you will be able to see it glowing in the light. I don't know whether you can see that. I can see it glowing really well, but I will show you in the end. I'll make a few more in a minute, and then I will show you, you know, if they can glow. I'll do a picture. But how simple are they to make? And I think they just look beautiful. And again, don't have to be fairy lights. They can be little dingly danglies for earrings or bracelets or things like that, especially with the little sparkly ones. These are the ones they just look like. You can use them. It's all sorts of things. I'm sure you'll come up with ideas as well to use them, but I'm just loving them. So there we go, guys. Nice, quick, simple one. I'll link down the video for the beads as well, because it's a very, very similar process, or very, well, it is the same sort of process really. It's just that you don't make them long unless you want long beads. You just make them sort of like round if you can. But there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a fab rest of the day. Please let me know if you're going to give these a go, and I'd love to see them in the Facebook group. All the links are under the video. So there we go, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys. Bye-bye.